The messages and emails that you get from people that have heard you on podcasts or have read your books or seen your work in other places, what is the typical question that those people asked? If you had to summarize the question into one question, what is it that people ask you the most?
Is juice healthy?
Really?
Serious. That's probably the most common question. You say sugar's bad, but isn't juice healthy?
Is juice healthy?
Juice is not healthy. Fruit is healthy. So what's the difference between fruit and juice? The fiber. Fruit has fiber. The fiber reduces the rate of absorption from the gut into the bloodstream. And in doing so, you reduce the insulin response, you reduce the glucose response, you basically protect the liver. And because you've prevented its early absorption, it goes further down the intestine where the microbiome can chew it up for its own purposes, thus feeding the gut and generating short-chain fatty acids, which are therefore metabolically beneficial, anti-inflammatory, anti-Alzheimer's. Okay? And the fiber acts like little scrubbies on the inside of the colon to get rid of colon cancer cells. So you get all sorts of benefits from the fiber in the fruit. But as soon as you juice it, you've thrown the fiber in the garbage. And so all you now have is sugar water. Eat the fruit, don't drink the juice.
What if I put the fruit in a blender and then instead of throwing out the gunk, I keep all the little bits in there?
So what happens is that the blades in the Breville or the Vitamix or the NutriBullet or whatever you use to make your smoothie, those blades are shearing that fiber into smithereens, into such short pieces that it can't actually act as a lattice work to sequester and prevent that absorption. So the rate of absorption in the intestine is just as fast, and so the fructose and the glucose will still get to the liver just as fast as it did before when it was juice. So that's not the answer. So making a smoothie out of it is not the answer.
Do you know what I think is really, really useful with those CGMs, those continuous glucose monitors that you can buy online super cheaply, is they just educate you on the impact that different foods you might have thought were healthy, like the juices we talked about.
Like rice.
Yeah, like rice. Oh my God, white rice. That's actually one of the big things I learned. Do you know, there's three things that have shocked me over the last couple of years that I thought were healthy. So I grew up thinking that orange juices were healthy. I remember being a young kid and getting the Sunny Delight out of the fridge and like glugging it because I'd seen on the advert, it said vitamin C or something.
Yep.